What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Jordan Kurtz here with Colorado Combat Club. I am here speaking with one of our title challengers for this coming up show. We have Theorius Robison. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to get ready to go to war with this dude. Just excited trying to go get that strap, bring it back to the team.
Awesome. I love to hear it, man. Always a lot of energy whenever you're there in the cage. First and foremost, though, before we dive too into the thick of things, where can people follow you?
At Instagram, theory underscore Ben Real. That's THEORY underscore BEENREEL. Theory Ben Real. Go give me a follow and like everything.
There you go. There you have it right there, folks. Make sure that you keep him, give him a follow and keep tabs on everything leading up into December 20th title fight. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is your first MMA title fight that you're fighting for?
Yes, it's been a long time. Like I had uh 4 fights, 3 fights so far, and now I'm finally getting a shot to get a strap.
Awesome. Love to hear it. I mean, I could see the excitement from you right away as soon as we hopped on.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to see. Now, that all being said, how's camp been going for you?
Man, camp's been good. Everybody gets little bumps, bruises, but I push through and grind hard. Next week, I'm gonna just take my time to relax, get the weight down, working a lot of striking. Blocks, covers. I'm really trying to. This dude's supposed to be a striker, man. So I'm gonna go out there and we gonna see, because I think I've been working on my striking, and I really want to see where I'm at.
Fair enough, right there. Now, you mentioned, everybody goes through the bumps and bruises and all of that, but also at the same time, I feel like when you have the extensive wrestling background that you do, being a former D1 wrestler, so on and so forth, there's just at times there's a bit of a different level of grit, though, or a different level of physical adversity that you're just regularly used to being able to push through. Am I right?
No, of course, wrestling breeds dogs. Man, wrestling makes the best fighters, the toughest fighters. It's that motor, it's the hard work, the dedication. It just builds you to be a tough man, just tough in general.
Totally understand there. Now, you mentioned adding a few new wrinkles into your arsenal for this camp, but without revealing too much, you don't have to pull back the curtain. But what have been some of the other changes that you've had in preparation for this fight? Are you doing anything specifically because it's the title fight, or is it more so matchup based?
I'm gonna go into every fight like it's the same fight. It's not necessarily because it's a title fight. It's more of just me just trying to add to my game since I'm still so young in my career. It's just me working striking, because I know my grappling's always gonna be there. Like that's just always gonna be there for me. But I really want to start putting hands on people and putting people to sleep. So I'm just really trying to lock in on that.
Totally understand. Now, who have been some of the people that you've been working with?
I got Micah, Super Jew, Juan. We got Tommy. We got my dog CJ. Just everybody on the Genesis team. Really, like I work with big to small everybody. We got Waters, Tommy. We got Micah. We got Juan. Abe, he's also on the card. And then we got Dylan Ruane. Uh Everybody, the whole team, really. I just get in where I fit in.
Like to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's been a little bit of some exchanges online or otherwise going on right now between you and Triston Harrison in the process, who's going to be your opponent for this title fight. Now, right off the top, what are your thoughts on Triston?
But I'm gonna have to just humble him, man. Like everybody, like I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, but when two people are gonna fight, like there's always gonna be some sort of tension and energy going into it, because it is a fight. At the end of the day, it's a fight. But yeah, he was saying certain things. I heard people coming back to me telling me things, and I didn't really like what he was saying. So, I let him know about that. Like I'm a smoking. Like that's what it is.
What was he saying?
I mean, say he's gonna sleep me. He got something for me, man. You run into my right hand. You're gonna be the one going to sleep. I promise you that. I promise you.
Okay, so that being said, is that how you see the fight playing out, or what are your thoughts once the cage doors get locked?
When the cage doors get locked, you know how I get. You know how I get. I'm gonna be the same person. I'm gonna apply pressure. If he's standing straight up and down, I'm gonna take him down. If he's trying to go stop the takedowns, I'm gonna punch his teeth out his mouth.
Fair enough. Now, you're also somebody who you fight with a lot of emotion, or you carry a lot of emotion into the cage when you fight. Is that something that you're trying to work on a little bit, just so that maybe it's not always with a head full of steam and anger, maybe more of a little bit of place of composure as you're continuing to grow through the career? Or is it still just kind of, I'm going to go in there like my head's on fire and just go for it?
Mm. I don't want to get too emotional in there where I make a mistake, but I think that emotion does help me. Cause like I feel like I need to give myself a little bit of a reason to like fight the dude. Cause I'm not just gonna walk down the street and fight some dude for no reason, you know? Like I don't even know the guy. So I wanna like give myself a reason to like wanna go in there fight and like, I'm trying to hurt the guy. Like that's what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And you put a you mentioned it right there, or what I was kind of getting at is that sometimes, or at certain points, emotion leads to us making a mistake that we wouldn't have made otherwise if we were coming from more of a calculated standpoint. But I totally agree that you have to know what your why is, right? You have to have that
Yeah.
purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. But I think through time, as fighters grow and mature within their careers, you kind of figure out ways to regulate that a little bit better, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Is that fair to say?
No, yeah, no, that's fair to say. Like you stay calm, cool, collected when you're just flowing out there. But then when it's time to jump, when it's time to go, then you turn it off and back on. And that just comes with experience, and that will come through time.
Very good.
I
Very well
agree
said
with that.
there.
Yeah. Mhm.
Then, in relation to some of the other stuff that you've done in preparation just throughout your career, we mentioned wrestled in college, but you've also competed in venues like the CJJC cage out there, which I think is kind of one of the best hybrid style events that get fighters prepared to actually make that walk. I mean, obviously, there's no striking in the process, but I think that it's definitely an advantage for anybody who's trying to get into the fighting game by going in there and working with a full rule set of submissions. You're not being restricted or limited like a lot of your regular, like early on white and blue belt restrictions of tournaments. You also have
Mhm.
the ability to work slams. Cause I mean, as
Mhm.
much as I love jujitsu, there's a lot of stuff in jujitsu that I can't stand. Like sometimes you just see guys hit a hard blast double in a tournament and they get disqualified for slamming somebody. And like, dude, that's not a
Yeah.
slam. That's just a hard takedown in the process.
Yeah.
But something like CJJC, you have the option to pretty much go out there and it's full tilt minus the strikes.
No, yeah, I think that was actually I'm happy I did that. And I'm trying to get in some more of those. Honestly, it's fun. And it's the closest thing that you're gonna get to an actual MMA fight, in my opinion. Like, there's no other thing. There's no other thing. Like, I get the walkout song. I get to walk down to the cage. I get to try and sell the tickets. I get to slam and do everything besides punch and kick. There's a crowd. It's the same atmosphere as an MMA fight.
Totally. Now, stylistically, you've got one of the quickest level changes that I've seen, especially on the amateur level here in the state of Colorado. When did you start wrestling?
When I was like 3, 4 years old, my whole life, man. It's been a
Okay.
long time.
So
Hmm.
a lifetime worth of work there. And that's what makes this, to me, a really interesting styles clash in that you have that degree of wrestling experience and just that time in the saddle there. And Tristan does have a considerable amount of time as a striking purist. So
Yeah.
it's that time old tale of the strikers clash or of the styles clash, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's the average thing. It's always, oh, wrestler versus striker, wrestler versus striker. It's literally like picture perfect. It's what everybody always talks about, who would win, and we're gonna find out. And I have a strong feeling it's gonna be me. I have a very good feeling about it.
Now, do you feel that because just from sitting cage side for your last couple of fights and calling the action, I feel like you bring out a certain level of frustration in your opponents because you are so quick with a level change and you are so quick to get to your takedown entries and your fit ins that they start getting a little bit over anxious and then they want to bring pressure more to try to put hands on you or to try to knock you out. But that pressure, as we well know, that just allows for the takedown at times to come so much more easily.
No, yeah, it's so easy, man. Especially when they feel that first one get them so good, and then I start talking to them, and I start talking to them, and then they get more frustrated, and they're like, "You just want to wrestle." You just, and I'm like, "Man, get up." And then it's just when you get frustrated, I'm not gonna give nothing away, but you gotta try and stay calm because like I have a plan and I'm gonna execute it.
There we have it there. Now, is there any message that you have for Triston?
He better check that grappling because he's got to check his grappling, and I think he knows just like I know we're in a different atmosphere when it comes to that, and that's where he's not gonna be able to stop the takedowns. At the end of the day, if worst comes to worst, he can't stop it. He knows just like I know he's gonna get taken down, and he might not be able to get back up, and if he does, he's gonna get taken down again, again, and again. That's just how it's gonna go. He don't have no choice.
Very well put. Yeah, I believe that there's certain times when, depending on what the style or the clashes of the fight, and when you have somebody who does have certain levels of high wrestling, or maybe it's certain sequences that somebody has as a fighter, you got to take the preparation approach of, well, I know that I'm going to get taken down, but it's a matter of what I do once I get taken down. Do I settle and do I
Mhm.
concede the position, or am I starting to work get ups? Am I starting to work some sort of counters, escapes, whatever it may be in the process? So, yeah, I think that's well put right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, as we tie things up here, folks, we just have a couple of questions here left with Theorius. There's, I want to ask you, is there any song, quote, maybe a movie scene, a lyric, Bible passage, anything along those lines that's telling the tale of you for this camp?
Yeah, I actually have a tattoo on my arm right here. If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves of the truth. John 1:8. I feel like I'm doing better in my life now. And I was living a life like I was sinning a lot, doing a lot of bad things, and now I'm on the right track. And I think like I stopped deceiving myself of the truth, and now like you know, and now I'm on my way.
I like that. One last question here for you before we head off. I like to ask this of everybody because it's usually a unique answer depending on who it is, and especially given that it's the holiday season where there's always a lot of good, tasty food all over the place. What is the hardest thing for you to give up while you're in camp?
Mm. It's crazy. I'm really a foodie, man. I like to eat everything, but I didn't get no pecan pie this year. Thanksgiving, man. That right there. And the fried fish, that too. But it's all worth it. I'm gonna get some December 20th, right after I get the belt.
Okay, there you have it right there, folks. Now, anybody that you want to give a shout out to, friends, family, sponsors, teammates, coaches, anybody?
Yeah, escape artist, elemental health, obviously Genesis, my coach's wife Amanda, she does a lot at the gym, my mom, my pops, my brothers, my family, uh, everybody who's supporting me, just everybody in my life, who's along with the ride supporting me and helping me. We got Gertz, Art, Mike. There's too many coaches. We got Pat. I can't name all. Like you always forget someone, feel bad, but everybody knows I got love for him.
And one last time, where can people follow you?
Instagram theory underscore been real. That's THEORY underscore BEENREEL. Go follow.
Right there, folks, you have Theorius Robison, who is going to be one half of our bantamweight title fight picture on December 20th. That is going to be kicking off at 1 p.m. at the Stampede, 2430 South Havana Street in Aurora, Colorado. Make sure that you're coming down and checking that out in person, or you could always watch the stream online. I'm Jordan Kurtz with Colorado Combat Club. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.